Calling the human ship cramped would be putting it lightly. Humans built their ships for pure function, with no thought for comfort, and she hated it. Her nephew hated it even more. Their own people valued space and luxury, wide corridors, oversized rooms, so being here made him restless. Still, he had come with his fleet, the more honorable of her sister's children, and agreed to negotiate. That unsettled her. He was fanatically loyal to the Empire, quick-tempered, and saw everyone as beneath him because he was a prince. The humans, however, were not what she expected. It wasn't their appearance that stood out, but their behavior. Everything they did was precise, efficient, and calm, nothing like the subjugated primates her empire had enslaved in the past. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned by her nephew's fleet, the humans still carried themselves as if they were in control. Meeting on one of their frigates, alone in the dead space between both forces, felt more like a trap than diplomacy. "Remember Valstrium? They threatened to destroy the throne world," she whispered, uneasy even in the empty briefing room. Her nephew gave her a look of disdain. "Relax, Aunt. They're skilled and their ship is impressive, even if it's cramped. But I haven't seen anything beyond what the Lynx THs can do." "You don't believe their threats?" she asked. "Of course not. What slave race ever holds back?" he scoffed. The door opened. A human she recognized, Admiral Kenji Watanabe, commander of their fleet, walked in with a stern expression. "Humanity doesn't kill civilians. Prince Volstrium Vuelman Kiosmus," he said sharply. "I'm disappointed you ignored our request for a lone envoy, but here you are anyway." He gestured toward a chair. "Sit, let's get this over with." She sat beside her nephew, noting how the chair had been designed. With her anatomy in mind, there was even space for her tail. Her eyes studied Kenji. His file had mentioned human subtypes, and she could see the differences now. Shorter than the others she'd seen, eyes slightly narrower, yet what no report showed was his build. Muscles shaped by combat, visible even under the uniform and flight suit. This was a warrior. Kenji got straight to the point. "You want a 300 light-year sphere around Earth, and a 1,000-year peace and non-aggression treaty. That is non-negotiable." His sharp gaze pinned her nephew like a predator watching prey, sending a chill down her spine. Her nephew answered slowly, in the careful negotiation style of their empire. "We have 5 worlds, seeded with other races." Kenji interrupted, voice firm. "The Trix, the Kale, the Bower, the Quail, and the Cool. We know, and they will fall under our protection as part of that sphere." His fingers laced together on the table, steady and unyielding. She heard the low growl from her nephew. He hated being cut off. He hated being denied. "Careful, primate," he said with malice. "We can always go back to fighting." "My name is Kenji," the Admiral replied coldly. "And if you're here to twist this deal for your empire's gain, then you are sorely mistaken," Kenji said, his eyes narrowing as he glared at the Imperial Prince. "With a single command I can destroy this ship and launch an antimatter bomb into the heart of your throne world star. And before you doubt me, yes, we've found how far an FTL drive can be pushed once you remove the safety locks." His voice was cold, precise, every word carrying the same threat as before. "Madman," her nephew roared, leaping to his feet. "You would doom your own sector as well." "No," Kenji answered with a hateful grin. "We'd fire from outside the galactic disk above or below. Space is 360 degrees. You wouldn't even see it coming. Now sit down, shut up, and listen." His tone carried the raw will of someone who truly could destroy entire systems. "Nadasingi," she whispered, her mind racing. Why would a man who spoke of annihilation also offer peace? Why go to such lengths? Kenji leaned back. "My family was from Tokyo," he said. He saw their confusion and explained. "Tokyo was a city on Earth. When your kind came for us, we lived in peace. That peace was unacceptable to your empire. Your armies attacked our most prosperous, most peaceful city to humble us. My family was wiped out. Everything I loved, gone. And all because of your empire's arrogance." His tone was steady, unshaken, even with the weight of his loss. "Then why speak of peace?" she asked quietly. "Because my leaders wanted to try diplomacy one last time," he replied. "So, you're just following orders?" her nephew said, almost offended at the thought. "My orders are vague," Kenji answered. "I'm here because I want to see if my late brother was right that maybe, once, we could have been allies, but your ships, your war doctrine, it's pathetic, not worth even a small war." Her nephew rose again, his pride wounded. "I won't sit here to be insulted. This negotiation is over. You refuse to compromise." "Wait, no," she pleaded, watching him storm toward the door. She turned back to Kenji. "Give me time, a day, maybe 2. He is young, proud, rash. It doesn't matter," Kenji said, his eyes fixed on hers. "He isn't the one who can accept this deal. He's only a figurehead." Her chest tightened. She was a member of the Mother Council, a secret no outsider should know. "How do you know that?" she asked, unsettled. Kenji's smile widened. "Did you think espionage and deception were arts your people alone mastered?" She sighed, realizing how deeply her kind had underestimated humanity. Activating her communicator, she quietly ordered her lieutenant to jam her nephew's signals. Then she faced Kenji once more. What exactly does humanity want? The terms we already gave, Kenji replied. Nothing more, nothing less. That sphere will place us against your neighbors, but understand this: we will not allow foreign militaries inside it, ever. You won't need to fear a sudden attack from the Verilis, Kenji said as he leaned back, hands folded, eyes fixed on her. Trade will be possible, and even friendship, if your rulers choose to listen to the Empress. She let out another sigh. In her people's oldest traditions, the Council of Women carried great weight, but as the Empire expanded into space, those customs had faded. Men now dominated the military, and young officers often mocked the idea of female authority, claiming women had done nothing to build the Empire and only depended on men. That will be a hard sell, she admitted. The Emperor may agree, but he will demand something in return. An army trainers, Kenji asked, already anticipating her answer. Yes, she said reluctantly. We seeded your kind for a reason. You've proven yourselves skilled in combat. A peace treaty without concessions would leave the nobility bitter. United Earth will agree to a defensive pact as part of this treaty, Kenji replied firmly. But we will never hand our people over as slaves. He pulled a crude data device from his uniform and slid it across the table. These are our laws regarding paramilitary forces your empire can hire at its discretion. They'll fight for you as long as you pay them. You want us to hire your people as mercenaries? She asked, almost incredulous. The idea wasn't unfamiliar. Her empire had seeded races for that very purpose. Why hire when you could enslave? Why not shape entire species to fit military needs? Kenji's voice was calm and measured. The groups on that list are already working with us, expanding our borders. They'll accept resources and goods as payment, things Earth will need soon enough. And the first 5 groups, they follow a strict code of honor. They can't be bribed or turned. They'll serve as bodyguards or, if necessary, as revolutionaries. She sat in thought. The heart of her empire's imbalance was clear. Men held too much control of the military, leaving the voices of women weakened. But human mercenaries, loyal to coin and honor, could undercut troublesome commanders and strengthen the Mother Council's influence. At last she nodded. I believe I can see this deal passed.